Nerve stars Emma Roberts and Dave Franco and is a movie about an online game called Nerve in which you can dare people to do something increasingly more dangerous. You can be a watcher or you can be a player. The dares start out smaller and get increasingly more dangerous as they go along, and when these two characters run into each other in the middle of the city, the watchers of the game want them to team up to play, but things get really messy when the dares start to get close to breaking the law, and that's where the movie gets interesting. This was a surprisingly entertaining movie. I had very low expectations going in, but I really liked the charisma of the stars. Emma Roberts and Dave Franco worked really well together. Their characters weren't very interesting. There were attempts to make them interesting by giving them small backstories every once in a while littered throughout the movie, but it was mostly their charisma together that made the movie fun to watch. It's also a very fast-paced movie. It's a neon-drenched film. Almost every scene has a neon light of some kind. It's a very good-looking movie. It's very tightly edited. It's very fast-paced, and I think most people who go to this movie just wanting to watch a fun, disposable thriller that will entertain them for 90 minutes, they're gonna get that. With one specific caveat though. If you give this movie a moment's thought, it really doesn't make sense. This is absolutely a movie that you have to suspend disbelief. If you even think for a second about this movie, you start to notice all these plot holes and inconsistencies and things that just don't make sense. And one of the biggest ones for me is that this is a game where thousands of people are watching people dare to do things, and eventually we get into law-breaking territory. Now these are thousands of people who are filming and documenting these events. It also talks about tragedies that occurred last year in which people were killed. So when you start thinking about that, it's easy to connect the dots and be like, why aren't the authorities shutting this game down? I mean, the IRS can go after sites that have torrents of movies and music. A game where people are dying and thousands are watching and filming it seems a little hard to believe. A movie that went for a similar scenario was David Fincher's The Game, starring Michael Douglas, and it did it in a much better way. The movie also has a soundtrack that for me was very 50-50. Sometimes I really liked the electronic pulsating beats the soundtrack had, but then there were other scenes where it was very much so, this music tells you how to feel. Feel this way right now. Tons of montages where the music would be sad, and now we're supposed to feel sad, or the music would be really upbeat, and now we're supposed to feel upbeat. Instead of the characters and the dialogue allowing us to feel this way, it was very much so soundtrack telling us how to feel. And that happens a lot in movies like this, and it's not really that big of an issue. I think most people will totally look past that, but from a filmmaking standpoint, the music is very aggressive in this movie, and it's almost a character in its own right. My biggest issue with this movie, though, I can't really get into unless I warn you about spoilers, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grade this movie, and then I'm going to tell you what my biggest issue with this film is, and if you haven't seen it yet or you don't care, then you can know. I'm gonna give Nerve a B-. Okay, so spoiler warning, because this movie's been out for a few days, and it's one of those things where I have to discuss it because it is my biggest issue with this movie, but it is a spoiler, so spoiler warning. Here we go. My biggest issue with Nerve is the lack of resolution. There isn't much finality at all. The movie ends very abruptly with so many story arcs hanging in midair, and you never actually find out who's behind this game. And there's no real consequences given to the people who are the perpetrators who are committing a lot of these crimes. It just ends, and I guess we're supposed to be happy because the two characters are now making out or whatever, and that's cool that they're together, but it just... I wanted some finality. But there's also another side to that coin, and that is that a lot of times on the internet when people commit crimes, they stay hidden very well because of how anonymous it is. Still, it's hard to believe because thousands are watching and filming these events. So I wanted some consequences, I wanted some finality, I wanted some sort of resolution. It felt very abrupt the way it ended. So those are my thoughts on Nerve. Perfectly entertaining, watchable movie with two good leads, and I think most people will probably really enjoy it, even though it takes a lot of suspension of disbelief. Also, I want to let you guys know real quick that I am still running my promotion with Crunchyroll.com. If you go to Crunchyroll.com/Chris Stuckmann, this is the best anime streaming service available. And as you guys know, I am a huge supporter of anime. I love anime. I've always tried to support it and bring more notice to it, and Crunchyroll is doing a far better job than I am. If you go to Crunchyroll.com/Chris Stuckmann, you can try their premium service for free for 30 days. You can watch all of the anime available on their site for free. That's my gift to you guys and Crunchyroll. Thank you very much for continuing to support my videos and sponsor them. It means a lot to me. So go to Crunchyroll.com/Chris Stuckmann and you can try it for free for 30 days. That's my gift to you guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, and stay tuned this Sunday because I'm starting my series of Harry Potter reviews with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I can't wait to talk about all those movies. I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so that's going to be fun. Thank you once again for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.